Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef, and today I have Eliot Schreiber of TexLegal, and I'm so excited to find out more about what his very interesting technology does. I'm very into technology and how it helps law firms. So, Eliot, just let us know about more of what you're doing in the legal industry.
Well, I'll tell you what inspired us to focus on the SMS to shortcode technology. We are founded this company by practicing attorneys, Daya, who as successful business owners in their own right, have a really laser focus on the key business drivers to the profession. And they've also a passion for innovating, not just how they deliver their services, but how they market them. So look, for years, law firms successfully relied upon traditional digital and social media, click to chat and vanity phone numbers and URLs to get their messages out. And it worked pretty well. But we saw that there was an opportunity to target, and even more effectively, a key demographic that's fast becoming a majority of their client base. And I'm talking, of course, about millennials. Mm-hmm. And if you're not familiar exactly about the demo, they're roughly ages 28 to 43. As I said, they're now the largest demographic in the country. And behind them is Gen Z, and these all need legal services as they continue to go through their years. So we took a closer look at this audience and realized how hard, though, it is to engage with them because they use often new and different media channels. Many no longer consume content from traditional platforms, even like cable, but instead they stream it over the top, and they spend an incredible amount of time on their screens for social media. And they engage more with marketing messages, quite frankly, that come from not the traditional spokespeople, but from their trusted influencers, right? So They even look to TikTok, frankly, for not just trends, but for news and opinion. So marketing 101, as I know you're familiar, is about delivering the right message, communicate at the right time, and by the right channels. It's about meeting them where they are, quote unquote. So we want to give people choices for how they'll engage with law firms. And so, again, meeting them where they are for millennials is, I think, through texting. It's the next frontier, frankly, of law firm marketing and client engagement.
Yeah, that sounds, I really am picking up what you're putting down about the different ways.
Let me share with you some statistics, okay?
That'd be great.
More context. 75% of consumers under the age of 44, right? They want to be able to contact a business via text. Okay, It's 75%. 98% of all texts are read, and that's 5 times the open rate for something like, say, email. And 90% of texts are read within 3 minutes versus 3 hours for email. So really dramatic statistics to support texting as an option for marketers. And frankly, the most important payoff is that SMS increases conversions by over 200% compared to these other forms, be it email, call, social media, right? So and in terms of the legal space, statistics reveal, no surprise, that millennials prefer texting with their lawyer rather than by phone or face to face, right? In fact, 1 in 3 expects text messages from their attorney. So very compelling data. But outside the legal space, others have integrated SMS already. They're ahead of the legal profession in their strategy. So again, for those who are outside the legal space, 76% of business owners and marketers already invest in text messaging or are open to using it. And more than half who are using it plan to increase their marketing spends. So again, it's a coming. Get ready.
Yeah. I mean, we often see the legal industry being a late adopter to technological advances. However, we do also know that marketing spend for law firms is way up there at the top. So just let me know a little bit more about shortcodes, the specific technology that you use.
Okay, well, again, they are 5 or 6 digit numbers, right? That someone can send a text message to. You can see this already in action, looking at ads in the media from marketers like Citibank, ESPN, talent shows. We talked earlier off mic about The Voice and Dancing with the Stars, how you vote for your favorite contestant.
Um,
Uh, and just more recently in this election year, you saw it on every podium that the presidential candidates had. So, it's here. And many of these codes are just a jumble of numbers, though. I don't think you can probably remember the names of some of the codes that were used by the presidential candidates. Ours, though, are quite different. They're what we call repeaters, so numbers that are in sequence the same. So 5 2s in a row, 5 5s in a row. And these are easy to remember, obviously. In fact, some of these numbers that we have spell words, and those are really compelling. So they spell, for example, the word legal, which can be read in both the bilingual market of Spanish and English. We spell the word lawyer, injury. So these are highly memorable. So here's how it works. A law firm simply has their advertising use a call to action that asks the prospect to send a short one-word message that we call a keyword to one of these short codes. So, for example, a personal injury firm that might have a billboard or other campaign that says, were you in a car accident? Text the word crash to one of our codes, like 22222. And, of course, it could be a different word. It might not be crash. It could be, if it's a marketing term that law firm's using, maybe it's Daya. So text Daya to 22222. However you want to boost your branding and create that easy to remember hashtag. And so again, the handle is what is important to put into the keyword, whether it's, again, your name, a marketing moniker that you use, your law firm's name, or a description to the kind of service that you're offering. So once the person sends the message, the firm then sends out an auto reply, and that allows the person to communicate real time by text with the call intake center, or to receive a phone call immediately from them, or simply to click on a link to the firm's webpage to maybe complete a free case evaluation form. So you're giving them options as to how you might like to engage with them. And these auto replies, Daya, can do more than just provide a means to engage. They also, as I said, can boost the firm's branding because they are issued with a logo from the firm. And even a voice greeting if they would like to have one from one of the lawyers at the firm. So it's a channel that's boosting brands. It derives lead gen and is integrated with the firm's CRM so that they can harvest and retarget with drip campaigns should they not connect immediately with that prospect. And they can even be sent from the law firm's office number so that if a prospect doesn't want to speak to them right then and there, they have the means to engage with the firm themselves at a later time. So there's a number of different ways. It's highly customizable. Text messaging allows marketers and law firms to even qualify the lead before it comes into a live professional in their intake team. So, you could say, hey, are you the one injured? Are you represented by a lawyer? And otherwise understand that they are a quality lead to take more, account of. So they can even send, photos and videos of the claim. So again, it's a highly functional and creative medium as compared to many of these others.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's definitely cutting edge. I've been thinking as you were talking about how many times I've used one, and I actually have a salon that I use that does that, and then they send me out my pre form. They click this link, for the appointment.
Right.
And I was just doing a follow up call for a law firm that I was consulting with, and got her AI assistant answering service, and so I complimented her on it. So when you pass this message on to her, make sure that I've complimented you, her AI answering service, and they're like, "Thank you very much." So
Exactly.
the world we are in now. Since this is all about success, will you share a success story for us?
Sure. I can tell you that, obviously the different law firms that we work with, they're not necessarily wanting us to share out their actual data just because I think they view that as confidential. And it also depends on the factors like the level of marketing spend that each does, what markets they're in, and, for what duration they run campaigns. So there are variables that, marketers have to, use in assessing the performance of their different marketing spend. But I can tell you that we've had a legal finance company use our service in 50 markets as an example, and they found that 70% of those that they marketed to opted in to continue texting, and of those, 30% completed their application. So that's pretty compelling data right there for the efficacy of using texting as a means of engagement. And we've also been working with a number of conveners, legal conference organizers, as part of their tools. And one of our conveners was doing a several thousand attendee event, and they were marketing a number of their different services. And they gave the attendees several different options for how to respond to the offer they were putting out there. Mm-hmm. This was a virtual event, actually. So they were all on their computers. So one was, of course, by virtue of a URL. Mm-hmm. One was to use a QR code. And mm-hmm. the third option was using our shortcode. And, it was surprising to learn, but we were delighted that no one used the QR code, all right? And of all those people that are on their laptops, still 25% of the direct response was generated via our shortcode. And of those that came in like that, 50% converted as a customer for the service offer that was being involved. So dramatic results from that kind of exercise.
That's very interesting. That's like astounding, and it's like I've just gotten to where I use QR codes, so now I know. Now I need to switch over to text.
But I'll tell you, Dave. The thing is, nobody can remember a QR code. You can remember a short code, right? But a QR code gets you to a place on the web, but a QR code can get you, to a live professional or in texting communication. So it's a different animal.
Yeah, it's like you're already in conversation. You don't have to fill out like another form. Like I'm already in a two-way conversation.
Yes, it's immediate
via texting. That is so cool. Like you're really seeing this like as the future, like happening now.
Yes.
Yeah. Any challenges and how to address this?
Well, the challenges, I suppose, would be for firms that may or may not think that they have anything broken. So, why fix something? So introducing a new piece of technology may be met with a level of lack of interest. But that said, frankly, the younger owners of law firms, those who are more open to innovation, more digitally savvy, they totally get it. And particularly the fact that they're having a younger audience that they're working with. As I said, the millennials are going to be the majority of their client base for any marketer. So again, this is really going to become table stakes, I think, to introduce texting as another channel for the communication space.
Yeah, I totally have a whole series of articles coming out that'll probably be out before this podcast, but on the need for firms to be tech forward if they're going to keep attracting talent. So never even mind the clients. You've got to have people that work there. You don't want to feel like an old fogey law firm still doing everything that's completely traditional. Some tradition, of course, but moving with the times. So
speaking of moving, no, go ahead. I was going to say that moving with the times, maybe we should ask, some of the things that are going to happen with, future applications for law firms in terms of technology. And I would tell you, it's a teaser thought of mine to share with you because there's some exciting developments coming on that will be enabling shortcodes even more so than they are today.
Nope.
But I can't tell you more because they're still in final stages of development. But it'll be a game changer, truly. And I think there'll be a sea change in the market for how people go to market, frankly. But again, they're going to be increasingly the go-to platform, I think, for customer engagement.
Oh, that's awesome. More to be revealed.
Yeah. Yes. Stay tuned. I expect by probably mid-year, we'll have the news to share.
That's so exciting. Well, how do our listeners get in touch with you, stay in touch with you?
Well, again, I think they could certainly text the word demo, DEMO, to 22222. So that's the word demo, DEMO, to the 5 2s in a row, and arrange for us to share with them the platform. They can see it work firsthand. In fact, why don't you try it yourself? Just go ahead and text the word demo.
Two,
Where's my
two,
phone?
two, 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 DEMO. Oh, this is legal text. We will shortly send another text to share information on our SMS to shortcode service. Message and data rates apply, of course, and text opt-in. So right there.
Right, exactly.
I love it. I love it. And then it followed up with the how to get in touch with you. TexLegal, the fastest way to a client conversation and conversion, right?
Absolutely. So
That-
anyway, it's really about meeting people where they are, and I think smart law firms are not only marketing in the virtual world but in the real world. And I think that they're going to use this as just one more tool in their toolkit, but there's still other things they can do in the real world. And I think that it's not only about being in the digital space. So, for example, there are law firms that are working with us that are giving out T-shirts at work sites because they're involved in workman's comp, and yet there's a code on the back of the shirt so that people can quickly figure out how to get in touch with a lawyer if they need it. They're supporting local community events so that they're part of the fabric of their locale, to be again a part of their communities. And also promoting themselves on media in terms of the local news format programs where they're the legal expert.
Mhm.
So that so it's just you have to meet them because they're in so many different hard to find ways. They're just not in one place watching one channel of engagement. So you have to be nimble and very very creative in how you get into their space. And it's not just about social. It's not just about digital. It's not just about some of the newer channels of media consumption, but it's also just getting out literally in the market. And letting them, meet you face to face and know that you are a trusted, corporate citizen, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Eliot. I really appreciate you coming on the show today. This has been another episode of the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef. Please subscribe and stay tuned.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.